Incremental greetings. So I like to coin terms. So one of the terms I coined recently is the minimum concept principle. So that I follow the minimum information principle for knowledge, formulation of knowledge, and so on. Then also I did the minimum template principle, which by the way now it's to the maximum. You know what? Let's take it to another level and do the same for concepts. Because I had 200 something concepts, but most concepts was like, for instance, anatomy that I killed. Now it's a regular folder. That I only had 11. Entrepreneurship, that's because it's very recent. This will grow. But what happened that, I had this concept for a year, 2 years, and it only has 10 elements, 20 elements. I think that is an overkill. And I had psychology, learning psychology, social psychology, neuropsychology. I was so specific. And at the end of the day, you know what? It's not worth it in my case. Because the point of being so systematic and creating concepts for super targeted is because I wanted to link this, so therefore eventually in the future I could go to the neural review. But then I decided too much friction, too much labor work. That doesn't export. So if one day I want to move from SuperMemo and export my collection, this will be gone. I don't know. For me, it's not worth it. So I decided, hey, now that I follow a lot of conventions, let me show some of them. Hey, that's chemistry. What defines moiety in chemical terms? So if I want to search for this filter or filter out chemistry, I will have this emoji regardless of what concept I'm using. And in this case, it's no group. And if I have more, I just have two emojis, one for each concept. As easy as that. Concepts only exist if I'm going to use the hooks. So what happened that for some topics, for some concepts, I was done. I'm not going to import anything else. For instance, SuperMemo. What happened with this is that I finally read the 2,800 articles I imported from SuperMemo, all of the wikis. So I consider I'm done. And if this happens to be that I import something in the future, I will just use the imports. I will be something quick. It will be just a tiny detail that I will import this, make the extraction, close deletion, maximum 2 reps, apply done. That's one thing. Another is that I no longer specify so much. For instance, now I have psychology, and that's it. It's not, I have social psychology. No. And I'm overspecifying. It's psychology. Because keep in mind that I'm not using the hooks to apply different templates, because I only have one template for each element type. So therefore, I only care when it's meaningful change that, hey, I may want to use a subset review for this. And what is in capital letters is that it's broad. That means that, in some cases, I will add stuff that is not exactly this, falls inside this concept, but does not justify to create a concept by itself. So I put it here. For me, it's language, science, human science, cultural history, and computer science. System repetition is capitalized because of the acronym, same for SuperMemo. And that's it. So if I go, for instance, language, I have Chinese, speakers of this, kanji input method. Makes sense, it's related to language. But before I had, this is a writing system, and that was a concept by itself. Then the process I follow is, should I want a subset review of just this, writing scripts? Now, how many more I'm going to add in the future? Not many, because what else is there? I already know the Hangul from Korean, Kana, Kanji from Asian languages. They are the Egyptians and so on. So whatever else I may add, it will be anecdotal. It does not justify the continuous presence of this concept. So therefore, the concept I consider is done. So therefore, it will become a folder. So what I do, that's a backup, so no worries. So let's pretend that I will do this for language. So instead of deleting this, I go to the registry, language, and I delete it from the registry. So I'm deleting the registry member, the concept registry member, not the concept element. So now it doesn't update, but eventually, let me reopen. Why it takes a while. You have to close up and open SuperMemo or run a collection repair, and this will become a folder, the same as some here, like anatomy. Keyword shortcuts is another example. Then you may face the issue that, hey, wait, I have several candidates. Which one do I choose, right? For instance, I have a health and well-being. Why barefoot running is a concept inside another concept in the hierarchy? Because for me, it's a big deal about barefoot running. First, it's very important. It's very high priority. Second, I imported several books and I know how many scientific papers. So I will take a while, longer than a year. So first, I wanted to use the hook, that everything is here because I want to do subsets of this, and I do care because of the importance, and I'm not done. I will keep importing. So I want to split this apart from well-being. This is what justifies the existence of this concept in the minimum concept principle. But that's not the same. For instance, cold water, immersion, kill, the sleep. I think I had a concept for sleep, not now, not anymore. And yeah, for instance, solanin. So more about the diet is, yeah, this could be chemistry, it could be nutrition. I had nutrition as well, not anymore. But you know what? Overall, my intention with nutrition is just for health. I don't want to learn nutrition about curing or treating diseases and so on. It's just for a healthy person, how can be healthier, maximize health, well-being, longevity, energy during the day, well-being. So, makes sense. Then my overall umbrella is health and well-being, even if it's chemistry or nutrition at the end of the day. So I got this simplification, which took a while because I had to merge concepts. I spent like 3 hours to simplify this. I think it works best. So for instance, I have biology. So here I have genetics. It was a concept by itself and so on. And at some degree, nervous system. Now it's a folder because it was a concept. And look, I only had one article. And all of this, but hey, wait a second. Axon, note of review. You know, this is related to neuroscience as well, right? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So I won't be using link this concept. So even if it's set to biology, it's related as well to biology, neuroscience, memory, and so on. No. I'm not going to use neural review. Significantly simplified my workflow. So my criteria is how I'm going to use it. And that's it. And here's neuroscience. I have less, and I thought for 600 I only have this. Yeah, because I have one book. Okay. And here in computer science, why it's in capital letters now? Because what I intend to do with it is that, yeah, it's computer science, but there will be machine learning, artificial intelligence, language models, prompt engineering, that, well, it goes beyond the scope of that. And at some point, perhaps, if it's a big deal, I will have a dedicated concept just for AI, but not for now. So long story short is that the threshold is higher. Before, when I import 3 or 4 articles, I will do a concept out of that. Now, not anymore. I had to go to the decision that, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's cognition or it's computer science, but globally, within the umbrella. So if I do this systematically, time and time is, you know what? And if it's high priority enough that I do this in a month, I will rep those, at least some of those. You know what? I will do a new concept. I think I created 2 or 3 concepts: entrepreneurship and product. Yeah, those are 2 concepts that I haven't had before. Because now this is relevant for me, for my job position, and so on. So remember, there's no right and wrong way to use this. I will say it's more in the suitable or less suitable. So depending on your intentions, your workflow, what you want to achieve, how you want to use SuperMemo for, there's a method that will adapt better than others. So I know that other people, including Wozniak, they use a lot of concepts, they are super picky and so on. But yeah, they do everything in SuperMemo, so it makes sense that since they have a lot of links, concept links, for them it will be meaningful to go neural and all of that. Since I don't do this, and I only use SuperMemo for incremental reading, and some subset of that, I don't do it. I won't do anything with math. So based on what I use SuperMemo for, it's a good choice. Simplifies my workflow. It closes doors. It limits some opportunities into future, but I'm not going to take those anyways. So that the doors I'm closing, I won't try to open them in the future anyways. So I'm not closing anything. And more importantly, I'm significantly reducing the friction with SuperMemo. So now at the end of the day, I focus more on understanding and how I formulate the items. Now I take more effort. And I also some help of the assistance of the AI to quickly convert a dummy solution to a Q&A, and then I adapt and so on. My focus is on that. And since I use conventions with the emoji, with the characters, I don't care how it's in the collection, because perhaps at some point I will export my collection altogether. So, not a big deal. So let me know how you use concepts, and if you have simplified or the opposite in your case. Nothing more to add today, and see you incrementally.